Welcome to the Dog and Gus Show, now on Feel It Radio.
What's up, dog?
Not much, Gus. You.
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. What do we got going on?
We have a band.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, the whole band.
Yeah. We got all three of them this time. We're not doing it one at a time,
Yeah.
like we did with somebody else.
Well, last week, you mean?
Yeah.
And then we have to add the third person?
Yeah, we're going to have to do another one
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
And then,
Who is this, by the way?
really, this disaster.
I set it up to say, who is this? And then
But I don't want to say just disaster, because that's not the name of the band.
Well, it was a bit fromage, but we got it through it.
But we like cheese.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. How we doing, boys?
We really do. You're
Good
awesome.
yourself.
Thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us, because this is like actually the first time when we do this. I don't
Yeah.
know about Danny, but me and Martin, I know for sure, like
Yeah.
the first time we do this for our band, so it's really cool for us, you know.
Well, good. Yeah,
So
well,
this-
like, we've been doing it for a little while. I don't know if you've listened to any of them before, but
Yeah.
it's always cool to bring in a new band. And I was listening to the album on the way, and then of course your cover for Bad Touch was fuck. I was laughing at that one because I remember that song as a young guy.
Yeah.
You know, we're probably all similar in age, I would imagine, and it was sort of a big hit back then because they played so many great tunes. You know, the Roof's on Fire and all that, but yeah, no, it's a good version. I liked it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. What made
Yeah.
you want to do that?
The whole nostalgia thing of like, because when we play shows, people are all that come to the shows are pretty much our age, and we figured if we hit a song that like absolutely everyone knew, and there's no excuse of not knowing this song, although some people don't know that song still.
No, true. I mean, I think
Like we played shows and we were like, wait till you hear a cover, you know, and they had no idea, and they're like, no, we didn't know that song. We were supposed to know it, and we were like, damn it. But the whole like that song goes back to like when we were 10 years old, maybe 12, you know, we're like 34 now or whatever.
Okay,
And
I was
back then,
I was 18 probably when that came out, so I was loving that.
okay.
You know, watching X-Files and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
first time I heard it, the Bad Touch song. I was at the wave pool waiting in line. I was like at a birthday party or something. I was just waiting for the slide in line, and I heard it on the radio. And I remember.
It's a random song at the wave pool.
Yeah, well, it was playing on Cool FM back then, right?
Yeah,
The
probably.
93.9 Cool FM.
Nice.
So,
Nice
like, I used to
reference.
listen to that. Like, that's all the best music, I think, went through that. And we figured, let's play a song that goes way back. Everyone was a kid or teenager, whatever, when they came out,
Yeah.
and can't miss it, and made a, like, more of a metal version of it, you know?
No, it's a great. It's very you. Like that. We've talked about covers in a whole episode, and it's like staying true to the sounds. Like you had to do, you know, like that part, and then having your own style,
Yeah.
right? Like your own way.
What we respect when we do covers is the tempo of the song and the key of the song can't change. Like
Yeah.
we notice bands like they always change the tempo and the key, make it their own. We want to make it our own, but with keeping like the rules of the song, like the same speed, same key. You know what I mean? So
Very cool. Yeah.
that way it's more the song for us.
Plus a little breakdown at the end.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
parts are added, but all in the key of the song. Like we
Yeah.
added our own thing at the end, but the song changed a few things, like the instrumentals. We put them shorter, you know, to make the song shorter, shorter and sweeter, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
We're happy people like it. Because when we came out with the idea, we were like, "Yo, this is gonna work."
Yeah, or it could go either way. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you even did the cover art properly too. Like that was.
yeah. This is Danny worked on. He just photoshopped it.
My
all in.
Photoshop skills.
Yeah, very well done. Well done. Oh, you're probably
It's like,
working at your job while you're doing that, right?
No,
No,
not
just
at all.
kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
Well,
Bad joke.
It took forever to get
Bad
me in the
touch.
picture, like, because we didn't have a picture of me. And one night I was just eating spaghetti like a pig on my table, and they're sitting around laughing, taking pictures of me.
Yeah, great.
So they just took that picture and put it. No, actually, no, they weren't even with me when they took that picture.
No.
I think it was my wife that took a picture of me eating spaghetti, and
Fair
then she
enough.
sent it to Dan or whatever it goes, and they just took that picture and threw it in.
Yeah.
That was it. We had the
Yeah.
picture.
Her wife is behind the camera right now.
We promised we weren't going to mention that she was here.
Why? Well, you can mention that she's here. We just can't have her on or talk to her about anything.
We got a mirror.
Okay. So what you guys have to know about her is that she's the reason why we have a following now and why we play shows, and because we were just like a basement band
Yeah.
before we started in 2021 summer.
Yeah.
Like me and Danny knew each other forever. They knew each other forever. Me and him only met each other like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're playing in my basement, just having fun, doing a lot of recordings. You know, me and Danny done a lot of recordings our whole life, and just and just doing it for fun. And then she told us, "Hey, you guys, I'm gonna book you guys shows. You guys got to go out there and play." You know what I mean? So we're like, okay. So she connected with bands and people and stuff like that, and every show we've played, she booked it, and the more she's been booking shows, the better they've been, like, more successful they've been.
Amazing.
Our friends stopped coming, and new people we don't even know started showing up, and
Getting your
Yes.
chops, getting your
Yeah.
your set, your reps in. That's
yeah,
for sure.
it's cool.
Yeah, I know it's nice to have a supportive partner for
Yeah.
sure.
It's-
And not Yoko Ono, you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't get that reference.
But like
Yeah,
They may
I
be
get
too
it.
young for that.
the yeah, but like she I know she believes in us because like I've been playing music for years, and when it started, she's not shy to say no, that sucks, or you suck, or give it up, or you know, and she's really honest. But when we started like getting tight with our pre-recorded bass in the background and our backtracks and all that, and a lot of practice, and then she noticed that you guys got to go out there and play,
Yeah, that's great.
and yeah.
Well, that's what you want in many ways, like having a partner for your podcast. You want to be honest with each other and have that dialogue where it doesn't affect your feelings, because in the end they're just being honest, and that's what you want. You want to have that feedback that's true. Anybody could say, "Oh, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing," even though you may not be, but you don't want that. That'll just
No.
Do you think so? The same idea.
Yeah,
Makes
no,
sense,
like
yeah.
it's the same thing with Danny when we're recording. If he doesn't like what he's hearing when you're like singing or playing guitar, he's gonna tell you straight up, "No, it sucks. We gotta redo it, or it's
Yeah.
garbage," and it's like it's not insulting because it's just like
It's
we're gonna be good. Some
Yeah.
people like they get discouraged. Oh, I worked hard on that.
For sure.
I worked hard on this track. He'll take a track, demolish it. We'll put it all back together, but it's all good because I know it goes good. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I'm just scratching my questions off my list. I'm just going to sit here and listen.
Well,
Dog,
What?
we want your questions.
Yeah, no, because you're answering them. I was like,
Oh.
okay, so I had that one, and now it's been answered. Oh, that one's been answered. Oh, and that one's been answered.
Let us know what we've been answering.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Listen,
Just chat, and it doesn't matter.
Don't
No, it's-
worry about him. He'll
No.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Say like, all my questions are all gone.
I- Gus will have a talk with me later, and everything will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. We need you here.
I know,
Okay.
and that's why I'm here.
I don't
'Cause
mind
I'm in the
re-
picture.
I don't mind repeating myself. I mean,
Just
I do it
teasing,
at
man.
home, I do it at work, and I'm good. Like,
No, but like Gus said, it's just it's good to have that honesty, because if you're just like blowing smoke up each other's asses, it's not working.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not. Like I saw you guys at Limited Tour. You guys were amazing. Like
Thank
that
you.
was such a good show.
Thank
I
you,
was
thank
like,
you.
oh my god, these. That's why I'm like, okay, guys, you need to come on.
thanks.
Because I mean, we talked to Winter. They're amazing guys. But I was like, no, need to talk to these guys. Definitely need to talk to these guys. I feel like I'm like Rain Man now. Need to talk to these guys. Gotta go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Gotta buy you underwear.
Yeah. So where did you guys meet? Like, where's this nucleus? come
I was 15 years old, and I met him in a party, and
Don't say the details.
I won't say the details, but I ended up getting his messenger, like MSN Messenger back then.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, somewhere in the party, he probably doesn't remember because he was like shit faced, but me, like, yeah, I had his messenger, so I had him
You
on
said not to
Messenger,
add the
and
details.
so he basically was playing in a band, and I wasn't playing in a band, and I really wanted to be in a band, so his band like kind of broke up at one point. He's like, "Hey man, you want to come play some bass and sing maybe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right away." I
Yeah.
had like a guitar amp, and I just went to their place, and complete garbage, like playing bass through a guitar amp and trying to sing, and no idea what we're doing. We played a show like a month later.
Yeah.
That's how I met Dan. It was probably like 20 years ago. Yeah,
Around
we've
then,
known
yeah.
each other for 20 years, and Mark and him, I think, worked at the hospital together
Yeah.
15 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, 15 years
And that's how
ago.
they met.
Yeah.
He knew he played drums because he like brought a snare. Or not,
Yeah.
I'll let Mark say that.
No,
story
it's
or
okay,
whatever.
man, say it.
And
He could tell the story eventually if you want.
so a few years ago, like 2 years ago, me and Dan were like doing recordings, but we've been doing recordings for like years, like just having fun, editing stuff and listening to stuff. It was nothing really serious because we never had a band. We're just doing that, and all of a sudden, like we were like, let's try to find a third guy. You know what I mean? And we landed on Marty through the internet, and like, yeah, I remember you. you know
We
what I
actually
mean?
did
So-
a post on Facebook. And
Yeah, we
Martin
did- yeah,
wrote
we
me
did a
message.
post.
Yeah.
And then he showed me a video of him playing like had nothing to do with like our kind of music. It was like kind of like jazzy, Jimi
No, it was
Hendrix kind of stuff,
country?
and
Country?
and old rock,
Jimi
whatever.
Hendrix, jazz.
And
There's no such thing.
no, like it was like
I mixed
a
up.
mixture of all. Like it was different videos he was sending me of him playing, and I was like, oh, he knows how to play guitar for sure. So then he came over. We had our first jam, and it was shit. But like I really liked Mart, and I knew like if we just jam, it would be good, because I knew he could
Yeah.
play guitar. So that's what ended up happening. We just kept jamming. He was super motivated. We bought like super not super expensive, but like good amps. Like I think it was like 1 month we started jamming, not even, and we went and buy like super good amps right away because we knew like we had a good feeling, right? So, and we had a bassist too back then. His name was Sam, but it didn't work out with him, and yeah,
Sam's
just
gone.
now we have like pre-recorded bass when we play with like backtracks and all that, and
It
it's
works,
it's
it
pretty
works,
tight.
right?
It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
tight.
yeah.
So we're happy with that, and keep it simple. You know what I mean?
Thanks to me if it's tight though.
Yeah, no, but he follows the click track, right? So it's thanks to the drummer's tight.
Well, of course, he's the rhythm.
Yeah.
The drummer keeps it all together, right?
Yeah. So when we play shows, sometimes like everyone goes and sees him after show. Oh man, you're so good. And I'm always like, what about me? No, just kidding.
It's always
No,
about him.
like he gets a lot of praise because he does a lot of work. Because he also records our music. He's an audio engineer.
Wow.
I was the audio engineer first. I went to school for it, and we kind of like 10 years ago I went to Terra. I don't know if you guys know where that is. The recording.
I do, yeah, but not well. But
So I
know
went to
about
that school. That lasted a year, and he used to come do sessions with me and all that stuff. And that's how like we got into recording like 10 years ago. And after that, we had kids, and like I kind of like went away from the music a bit for like 3-4 years. And he kept learning how to do recordings. Then when we got back together, he was the guy recording.
Interesting.
So it swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a guitarist, like, do you find it like if there sometimes the guitarist plays off of a bassist when they're playing? Do you find it challenging, or do you find it interesting to have the bass? Do you hear the bass while you're playing? Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, I like it like that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess
Well, it's always the same.
it's always the same. Yeah, it's just,
We're playing on the click track, so
yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Well-
just the reason I say is because sometimes when you see a band playing live,
yeah.
having a guitarist and the bassist, they always tend to have a little bit of almost like a feel out there. They kind of know each other. They want to be with each other. Like it,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know how Mark Anthony and
Yeah, I
Eddie
miss
Van
my-
Halen would always go back and forth from Van Halen. I was just wondering. That's all.
I try to do it sometimes with him while I'm
Yeah.
playing guitar, but it's because I'm always busy singing. There's not very
Well,
many
that's what I mean. I
instrumentals.
didn't bring you into it
Yeah.
because I was thinking if you're playing rhythm and singing, it would be
Yeah.
challenging to.
You pretty much stay in the middle, and I jump around.
You buzz around. Nice.
Yeah.
But Marta's like our most natural player in the band, like meaning like he doesn't like really rely on click tracks and all that stuff. He just goes with feel all the time, you know,
Yeah.
rather than like he follows a click track. I'm like half and half. I kind of follow
Yeah.
click track. half
I'm
time,
more in
and-
my bubble when I'm playing.
Yeah, he's more like his own thing. But he's like even when I play acoustic guitar and I sing, like he's always following me, whether I'm following a click track or not. Like he's always like just naturally, like he's got the natural feel. We're
Interesting.
more like mechanical feel, but it's
Well, that would come from being in that you want to do the audio producing, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that's-
So that and he's more of just a natural player.
he does a lot of like audio recording and producing and all that stuff. But like
Oh, he just started.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Like on the side, like he does like mostly rappers and like reggae and stuff like that. But
Reggae, nice.
yeah,
I like reggae.
or whatever, like other
Me
stuff
too.
other than what we do. It's too expensive to record that kind of music,
Fair
you know.
enough.
Speaking of which, we're talking about influences.
Yeah.
Now, is there like would somebody come up to you and say, "Man, you sound a lot like this," or like these guys? Is there any names that you can throw out? Because I got a couple in my head. I just want to see if I'm on the right track before I
hear them.
insult somebody.
To be honest with you, when I get feedback like that, like people comparing us to other bands,
Yeah.
it's always like a different band,
Okay.
and it's always like
What
ridiculous.
are the funniest
It-
ones?
A lot of times it's like ridiculous, you know what I mean? Like saying like I sing like Billy Talon or stuff like that, or Finger 11 I got. a few
Ooh,
times.
Finger 11.
But those, yeah.
I just scratched Billy Talent off my
Oh
head.
yeah. Okay.
I got an even worse one for you, but please don't hurt me in the parking lot. Because I was listening to the stuff, and I actually wrote down. You can see I wrote down Billy Talent.
Okay.
But I also wrote down, and no insult to you guys' band, because I know you're a little heavier than these guys are, but Panic at the Disco.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of, that vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not the actual sound.
I love Panic at the Disco.
Well, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe more your voice, like yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What your
On
voice
the album,
Yeah,
I'm
the-
talking.
Maybe
not-
the poppiness of
Yes.
the notes we go to sing and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
or
yeah, it was just kind of that's just kind of what caught me.
the
with that.
catchy
Yeah.
Yeah.
commercial side.
Our
Yeah.
intentions is always like
Yeah.
try to go as pop as we can, but like always try to go as heavy as we can. Do the music like as aggressive, and
Yeah.
we don't like to be slow or
No,
like
that's fine.
no melody like ballads or stuff like that. We're just
Nope,
high voltage. But yeah, so yeah, My wife really likes Panic at the Disco
Oh,
too.
there we go.
that-
So
that's
I'm not
pretty
going to get
good.
beat up in the parking lot. That's great.
But yeah,
I didn't
but,
suspect you would have.
Not by her.
Covering all my bases, man.
yeah. But if we were to be compared to Billy Talon, that would be like how tight our bassist would be, right? Like the sound of our.
Our bass is awesome.
That's why I really like Billy Talon. It's because the vibe of the bass
Oh.
live or like on a CD, like I love it. It's just
I saw
heavy.
them
It's
the
really
last time.
heavy and
Right after COVID was done, they were here and they were incredible.
yeah, they're
And,
big,
yeah.
big influence for sure.
Yeah.
But when people say I sound like it, it's kind of like, oh shit, really? It's flattering, but it's like, really?
A little surprising.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's such a subjective thing, right? Like you sound a certain way. I didn't get it. I don't think it sounds like Billy Talent at all. But I see where Dog was getting it from. But it's certainly subjective. I don't think it's just more. Hey, you sound like these people. But people always tend to go to a band that they listen to and compare it to a band that might have more commercial success or whatever. You know, like I think that's where that was going probably.
Yeah. No, I definitely know what you mean though. But it's always fun to hear like those kinds of like because that's where you see like everyone's ears and mine is all different, right? But at the same time, we all like the same things, but we don't really perceive them as the same way necessarily. You know what I mean? Like a heavy band to someone could be completely different opinion to someone else.
Yeah.
That's not a heavy band at all. You know what I mean? Like that's what's kind of you get an idea of.
It's like that Gramcast we did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're talking about that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, even live, you guys are like not even close to the album, right? It's a lot different feel live because I mean, seeing with the Minotaur, it's not a really big place. It was great.
Yeah.
Like, it just the energy and stuff was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we never get bored of like playing shows or jamming because it's like you said, it's not just like hearing the CD over and over again. It's just we always bring a little vibe to it, you know, like a difference. The whole fun of playing shows, really.
Yeah, and I have another question that goes with that. I wrote it down in the parking lot. When you guys go, like, it's usually just like 3 or 4 bands, and if you're in the middle, you're sitting there watching the other bands. You guys get a little competitive and go, guys, these guys really fucking blew it out of the water. We're gonna have to step our game up, or you just go out and just do what you do.
It's. I'm scared to answer this one.
No, we're not saying any bands in particular. Just saying, you're just saying, these guys really kicked it, so we gotta bring it up a notch.
I don't think I felt that way yet. No, I felt like every time we went to a show, we want to like just be friends with the bands that are there. We don't care what they sound like or.
No, I'm not. That's not. I maybe I said it wrong.
No, but like if they're a super good band and or they're like not really good, they're gonna get the same treatment from us, and we're just gonna be like. But we didn't get that feeling yet, though.
No.
Of
Like the competitive juices don't flow. Is what I think what he's saying is if a band that goes on before you rocks the house, and then do you feel like pressure to play a little better, but you're obviously saying no. You just stay true to yourself. So.
Probably really excited if a band like plays because the crowd is like, yeah, there's good music tonight, so the people are like, let's go get some beer. Like if there's a band that plays before us and they're like super good, we wouldn't be like, oh shit, we would be like.
No, that's
into it. We would be like into it. You know what I mean?
That's basically the question I have.
Yeah, we'd be like, super excited,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be next show's gonna be good too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That was the answer I was looking
but
for. Yeah, for
we
sure.
we might have a show coming up that I might get that feeling though. I mean, who knows, right? Like we plan on playing shows for a while, so maybe we will get that feeling one day that oh shit, no, we can't go play.
We'll be glad if no
You
one.
know what I mean?
We'll
Like
be
that
glad
could
if-
happen, but it did. Like I haven't had that feeling yet, but that. I don't know. Maybe I'll be thinking of you for sure when that happens. If it does happen,
Dog.
I'll be
That
thinking of dog.
I got you again.
Yeah.
No,
Gotcha.
No, I get it. That's good.
Yeah, no.
But if it happens, don't bring tomatoes.
Yeah.
No tomatoes.
But like, if it does happen, we would be, and we're obviously it would be a band that we really like.
Yeah.
That would be good, and we would be like probably the next day like promoting that band, being like, hey, we just played with these guys. Go check them out. They're crazy. You know what I mean? Like they're good. So
Very cool. Nice. Who's the best hip hop artist of all time?
For me?
Yeah.
Chicka Slim Shady.
Yeah. I like Eminem. I like more old school.
Oh yeah, that's my guy right there.
You know the whole
A lot of
Eminem
them.
thing. It got like cheesy to say Eminem's best rapper, and when I hear kids like tell me, "Oh, Eminem's the best rapper," I'm like, but it's true.
He is.
It's true.
He is.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was
it's-
actually just watching something and like some artist was on BET saying, I think it was The Game, who was like trying to challenge him, and then Redman, you see Redman, don't challenge the white guy, man. Like that guy's the best of all time. And Eminem would say Reggie's one of the best of all time. Like Redman's amazing. I could talk hip hop forever, but you know, for me, my favorite of all time is Biggie and Tupac.
Okay.
Eminem's in the top 5 for me. Then it's Nas, and then Ice Cube is my favorite of all time.
Oh yeah.
We'll almost have to like eliminate Eminem to have like these fun conversations
It's
about
true,
hip hop
yeah.
and stuff
But-
like that.
but
So
that-
besides Eminem, who's your favorite?
Yeah. Nas. Yeah,
DMX.
exactly. Oh, DMX, nice.
Yeah.
I liked him. He had,
Oh yeah.
It was funny to hear, like, because he was so big. Like, at the time, I was probably 20. You guys were, like, 14, 15, right?
Yeah.
So, when he was huge, he was really huge. Like, he was, like, the biggest rapper at the time. And there was, like, really good rappers around. Like, Jay-Z was around. You know, Nas was still kicking it. There was, you know, Tribe Called Quest. There was a whole bunch of other ones. But DMX was, like, that next level.
Mhm.
But then again, so was Ja Rule and Nelly, and I hated them
Yeah.
both. So it was, like, sort of an interesting way. DMX, I still listen to some of his songs, like
Oh yes, us too.
like Damien,
on the work
all his
we listen.
Damien's, like Damien songs. Like,
Yeah.
those are amazing. And then just hearing
Yeah.
Is it Download Festival he played DMX where you don't see the end of the crowd? It's just like an ocean of people, and it's like
yeah.
probably the biggest crowd I've ever seen ever.
Well, Jay-Z played the same thing, and he said that when he watch after I'll send it to you or something, but you can watch Jay-Z talking about DMX at the time and how, because Jay-Z was the headliner and DMX went on before him, and he wasn't on the stage yet, and all he did was go, and the whole place just went bananas. And then he said, I guess he goes out to, like, you know, like I think it was X Gonna Give It To You or something, like, and that's the song that he goes out to, and the place like explodes, and Jay-Z's like, holy shit, like
He felt like what we were talking
that's
about.
it's kind of a great segue because it's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Because then Jay-Z probably was like, I really have to bring it now because
Yeah.
I'm the headliner, and this guy is DMX, and he just rolls out and blows the place up. Like,
Maybe I'll tell everyone I had strep throat.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although in the Chronic 2001, like that album with Eminem, and
Yeah.
you know that tour, I actually saw them in Toronto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was 20 and smoked a lot of weed at the time. And then we went to Toronto, and you know, you started, like, Eminem was the first rapper up, and then it was Ice Cube, and then it was like Exhibit was in there, and then
Yeah.
of course Dre and Snoop at the end, right?
Yeah.
But could you imagine Eminem's the starter? Like, he's the first guy on.
Yeah.
He also came on and rapped with Dre and Snoop a few times because he was all over that album. But yeah, best show I've ever seen. One
I've
of the
seen it on
best.
DVD.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have
There's a lot of
DVD.
flashing in that video.
Yeah. Well, that was in
oh,
Boston,
yeah.
right? I think they did it in Boston, of all places. That's where they did it. So that's where that CD
Oh, I guess it was in Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Trust me. I
Okay.
watched it.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Nice DVD.
Yeah. Very nice.
I remember.
Lots of guys looking for the khakis.
Yeah, the khakis. Yeah.
Khakis and
Yeah.
Bassin.
You love that joke. Eh?
I do. It's my go-to.
Yeah.
You guys, we talked earlier about touring around. Is there a favorite venue that you guys have now that you're doing a little bit of touring, or is there a place you really want to play?
Could it be a place we've played already?
Absolutely.
Overtime Bar in Kingston.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We jump around on that thing like we're monkeys. Like,
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
like
yeah.
big PAs and
Is
speakers.
that the old Ages Hangar? Is it like the plane in there?
I have no idea.
No,
It's like
okay.
hockey UFC bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like it's
Really?
There's
yeah.
a ring, a UFC ring.
Yeah, there's a UFC ring
Oh,
on
cool.
stage. Like it's like an
I've-
octagon, but lifted up in the air, and
Sick.
there's like big PAs. You could just stand on them, and we had a blast there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing like we didn't like about that show, well, we didn't plan it well. It's because it was our own show, and we got a band from Kingston that brought people. The only thing is that we made them play early, so all the people left after they played, and we still played in front of like, I don't know, 15, 20 people. But it was fun. Like, those people were. I think there's even a bunch of kids that came in for free at the last second and started mosh pitting and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was worth it. It was a good time. We had fun. And like, if I had to play a place again, it'd be that one.
Yeah.
Overtime Bar in Kingston.
Very cool.
There you go. Yeah, we're getting a lot of local bands here go down to Kingston and play that bar.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kingston is such a fun town.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember going there. He's a young guy, and it was a blast.
Mhm.
Because most of the people that live there are young.
Oh, it's a college town too,
Yeah,
right? You got
yeah.
Queen's University there and stuff. So
They all got cash.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good place to go.
So they go mosh pit at type some good bands. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not me. I would break a hip and that's it. I'm done.
Well,
I see that seriously. I see that happening. I
Maybe
back
at a
up. I'm like,
different. Maybe at a different point in your life, you were.
no, I probably would never have done that.
I think I definitely mosh pitted in my life.
No, I never had the
Nice.
opportunity or a reason to.
When I saw Limp Bizkit back in the day,
Oh yeah.
it was awful. But now that I think about it, it was a fun time. But
Where was this at
Montreal,
Montreal, yeah.
yeah, like at Oshiega outdoors.
Oshiega, really?
Yeah.
I never thought they
It
would.
wasn't
play
called
Limp Bizkit.
Oshiega at the time. I think it was called Rockfest or something. It was in, but it's in Quebec. It's in Montreal where we saw Rammstein actually, which was a crazy fucking show. But
Oh, you're talking about the Montebello.
No.
Not in Montebello, no.
No, right in Montreal, like where La Ronde is. So Oshiega.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Pas de drapeau.
Yeah.
Pas de drapeau, yeah.
Okay,
C'est
now
ça.
that after they started coming out with
Français, c'est
yeah.
excellent.
Okay. I thought Oshiaga was like kind of like softer.
No, it's not. It's always been. Well, it is now.
Okay.
But this was called Rockfest. That was taken over by Oshiega. But Limp Bizkit played, and Rage played that same weekend too. But we didn't see them.
I just got confused because Rammstein and Limp Bizkit, I saw them at Montebello.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was pretty
Rammstein
awesome.
just played Park Jean
Yeah,
like last summer.
Yeah.
The dog and I went. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was like the craziest show I've ever seen.
Was your skin burnt? Like.
No, because we were standing far enough, but we felt the heat from those
Yeah.
things, man.
Yeah.
And literally, like, when I remember walking up with Dog and saying, like, are we watching the Game of Thrones? Because their stage was the biggest thing I've ever. It was like a castle. It
Yeah.
was massive. It was crazy, and it was an amazing show.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
them, but like.
They
No
could-
English songs or French songs or anything. He said Montreal, and then everybody goes wow, like crazy, you know, because that's all he knows in English probably or French actually.
Yeah.
But you know,
What impresses me most about Rammstein is like how primitive the music is. So before like the show starts, I'm like, there's no way these guys are gonna be better than all the bands we heard today, but they are because it's like a team behind them. They could just ring a chord, hit one bass drum, and it sounds phenomenal. You know what I mean? You're like, you got the feeling. But then they got the fire, they got the fireworks,
Well,
they
it's-
got like
Fire
all
guns,
sorts of like things going on.
It's the whole show,
he's
right?
crazy too.
It's the
like,
show,
lead singer
and-
is like he's like grinding things on the friggin' like
Yeah.
and then he's chasing the keyboarder around because the keyboardist is on a treadmill while he's playing. You ever see
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's on a dog leash sometimes
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But it's just like the whole thing together, like sound quality, like 3 times better than like the best band you heard all day. And I wasn't expecting that when I saw it. Like, I knew it was gonna be good, but I was like, okay, now I understand what the big fuss about Rammstein is when I saw them on the bell. And I was
Yeah,
like,
they've been doing it for a while, so they've
yeah.
Well, there's
honed
that.
their show for sure.
I've listened to them since I'm like 12, and I
Mhm.
always liked it. I
Yeah.
always thought it was cool music to listen to and all that, but I never thought it would be that good of a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like blown away. I was like, oh my god.
It's funny. It's funny because they're a massive band in Europe, obviously, and there's a huge following in Canada, especially in Montreal. Like Montreal, I find a lot of heavy metal fans, a lot of good music fans in Quebec, especially, but also Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing show. I mean, we didn't see Bob Ross there, but
No.
he was there.
Yeah, from Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know the fact that the singer of Rammstein, when he speaks French, it's like very good in French. So people are like, "Oh my god!" It's even like more exciting for them. The fact that he's speaking French to them. Not many bands do that, right?
Well, no, but the thing is, in Germany, because I spent some time there, I lived in Munich for a bit, and Germans speak like French, Italian, Austrian,
Yeah.
Swiss
Yeah.
German.
Well, they're in the
English.
middle of it all, right?
Yeah, but they
All
speak,
that.
I bet you he speaks all those languages, but doesn't speak English, which is pretty interesting. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, like of all like being an English person, you're like, well, you don't. What do you mean you don't speak English? But he speaks 6 other languages,
Yeah.
right? So it's like.
I thought it was Switzerland that was like that. I didn't know Germany was like that too.
Well, I think that everybody around the Alps, they speak a lot of different languages. Like
Okay.
French, like from France, speak Italian, or they speak, 'cause
Yeah.
Italian and French are very similar.
So Spanish
and
and,
Span-
German,
yeah.
they're all the kind of the same,
Yeah.
around the same area. Of,
Okay, yeah.
And that's why a German person can pick up Spanish or Italian quicker than say an English person.
Well, but German's like there's a lot of dialect that's
Yeah.
really off the charts. And
Yes,
then Swiss German is even crazier. Like
They don't get involved.
I'm kidding.
No,
I
but
didn't think of it.
it's a separate language
I know.
from Switzerland that's called Swiss German that I think was founded like when Prussia was like,
Okay.
We're going in.
We're not doing a history lesson here, boys.
Well, I'm just trying to fill some time.
No, good for
I
you.
mean, your questions are done, so.
They are not done because you're too busy talking.
Oh, it's
Wait,
fair
more
enough.
questions.
Ooh, more questions.
More questions.
I got a good one. You were talking about like what you guys listened to when you were growing up and stuff. Is there anything that we could find in your Spotify list or in your house that we'd have a WTF moment? Like, you know, it would surprise us to no end.
Probably.
Let's hear it.
I love 6ix9ine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
and
shocked here.
I'm not embarrassed about it. And
No,
a lot
that's
of people are like, "Were you serious? That's ridiculous music." I like it.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, it's my guilty pleasure. 6ix9ine.
There you go.
There you go. What about you guys?
Backstreet Boys, man.
There. See, that's what I was looking for.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, fair enough. But that's what I'm saying, because like the style of music you guys play, and you know the stuff we've been talking about.
I was
That,
not
like,
expecting
out of
that
left,
at all.
that's what I was looking for.
That's
Was the
great.
whole really?
Yeah. Backstreet Boys.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even saw them.
I don't know. Me, I grew up in metal, so I was really a metalhead, and so now I listen sometimes in my tracks a little bit of R&B and I don't know, Mary J. Blige, something like that.
There you go.
Ooh, nice. I like
What
that.
Not bad at all.
Don't you love that Old Town song?
The what?
You're my butterfly.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. I love everything now. Listen to jazz, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no hate on any music I got.
I remember.
it's,
I remember because when he told me he liked that song, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Not a bad tune.
No, it's not a bad tune. It's just it's not. It doesn't match like what he usually listens
It's not
to.
his MO.
Yeah,
It's not his-
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked that question, because it's
I
fun.
suggest that
that's
cover
what I
too.
Yeah, I think he wanted to play it as a cover and all that. I was like,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
You did the Bloodhound Gang. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your next cover. Well, it's like looking at Gus and like he'll listen to Tom T. Hall only because I told him to.
Oh.
Yeah, I listen to. I mean, country. I listen to.
Yeah.
My playlist is ridiculous. People say it all the time. It'd be like, I'll be listening to Rammstein will be on, and then all of a sudden it'll go to like Snoop Dogg from Doggy Style,
Yeah,
and it'll be
true.
into.
It's the same.
I'll be listening to like Chris Stapleton, and then like it just layers upon layers of different things.
Yeah.
Or like Montel Jordan will come on. If I'm trying to get a little action, but. Doesn't
Do you
work
guys
out.
have a genre of music that there's not listening to it, no matter what?
My
No.
dog does.
I'm not getting into that
Yeah, you are.
because I might say the wrong genre because there might be more than one.
Well, say what you want.
Okay,
He asked you a question.
I know. I'm trying to think.
I don't like. I don't like like the. I like heavy metal. I do, but death metal.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
the,
Yeah. The
I don't-
tempos that we don't understand.
Yeah, like I love Rammstein, but I don't like the ones where it's like you're just screaming bloody murder into a mic. And usually I've talked about but the drummer is usually sick in heavy metal bands. Like they're just ridiculous,
Mhm.
and they're great in death metal bands, but I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
The only reason why I would see a death metal show is for the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bass
which
drum,
is
you know what I mean?
so
And
sick.
that would be
Yeah.
it. But the rest, I just don't get it.
Even
you know what I mean?
even just like the musicians in general, right? Without the vocals. I mean, some of them are just like amazing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
There's no denying that they have talent.
Yeah.
It's just for me that the lyrics have to mean something as well. Like
Yeah.
even if it's Rammstein and I don't understand what they're saying, but I feel that music.
But you comprehend the beat, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
There's a melody as well.
a lot of
Exactly.
death
That's
metal.
it, right?
Exactly.
That's
Like
it.
I listen to a lot of death metal with blast beats and stuff, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Just doesn't. I don't jive with that. But I love everything else. You
Okay.
can name anything on. Listen to it for sure.
That's cool.
I just made a nice little jazz list last night with a little bit of Rebecca on there and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very
I lambaste Mariah Carey a lot because I don't really care for her. So if I had to go, I would go like the pop genre. Like,
Yeah.
Britney Spears, Mariah Carey. That kind. I just kind of.
Okay.
I have no time for that.
In sync. Backstreet Boys.
Well, Backstreet Boys, I played when I DJ and stuff because people want to hear it. Like, and I have to put aside the fact that I really don't want to listen to it. But I mean, it's okay. But I won't put it on at home just to listen.
Hey, if you
But
want
there
it
will-
that way, it's fine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And we're done.
Well done. Well done.
But there will be that pop song you do like event.
Oh
like
yeah,
some
there's
there and there.
some.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying that I don't like any pop, but it's just like I just don't like Mariah Carey, and I know she doesn't listen to the show, so I don't really care.
She does actually.
Damn it!
She sent me a DM.
Damn it.
Should talk to Dog about what's his name.
Yeah, I gotta quit slagging her. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
I like her at Christmas time.
No.
Her Christmas song got killed though. Like they just overplay that
Yeah.
song. And it's just
Agreed.
Like, God, it's just-
Yeah, it's like it almost takes you out of the good mood. Like I'd rather listen to Bing Crosby or something saying White Christmas and then have like something like that. And
Yeah.
then,
Bing Crosby and David Bowie.
you don't want to
Little
be
drummer boy.
Yeah,
Great
that's a
tune.
good one. Or Elvis, Blue
Oh,
Christmas.
can't go wrong with Elvis.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm done.
yeah. That was good.
That was very good. It was very Elvis-esque.
Yeah.
If Elvis was a Smurf.
So, would you consider another bassist, or you kind of like the way that the way things are going?
We've been told by several people that our band needs a bassist when we play live, but they were all bassists. So
Are they looking for a job?
yeah, no, we have bassists reaching out to us
Okay.
and asking us if we want a bassist and all that. But we're we're not in no stress or like in no rush to like have someone come in.
Okay.
We might have been before, like 2 years ago, but since we figured out how to use our own system going, we're pretty comfortable with it. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it seems that way.
But-
And it might mess with the nucleus, right? Like you kind of have a good thing going between the three of you.
but
Yeah.
it's never like we're not like, oh no bassist ever, you know what I mean? Like I mean, you can't say no to everything because there could be that time where like
We're thinking
we
of
need-
it.
we need this individual in our band, whether it's for like social media appearance or like
Or,
make the sound better live. It could be, you know what I
or
mean?
even that one show that you're doing, right? Because I mean, the boys this weekend, are adding a couple people to their group for this show.
That's right.
So I mean, you could do it like if you have a special show, guys. We really need a bassist for this show. So you just kind of bring somebody in to do that.
Yeah, you could always rent a musician, right? Like if you needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're kind of
No, you're good.
we're not stressed about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
We're not trying to stress you about it. We're just asking the tough.
But I remember when we started this band, it was a big thing. I was like, man, we need a bassist. Let's go bassist. And then we got one, and we're like, we need another bassist.
And then we don't need a bassist.
Well, that's actually
Yeah.
almost more stressful, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to
Yeah.
worrying about getting a bassist instead of just having the sound in the background that you're happy with and not worrying about it. And then just I think it's just an interesting question. Good
Yeah,
question.
or just not, having to worry. Oh man, he's not as good as our backing track. So
You ever think of a third person for our group?
No, just a second and getting rid of you.
Yeah.
And he does the same. When his daughters are old enough to start speaking, I'm done. So I'm going to get in as much as I can before they come up and take my
Well, you'll
place.
be in the home by then anyway, so
True,
it's okay.
and you'll be sneaking in what for me?
Whatever you want.
Great. I'll develop a drinking habit by then.
Yeah, drinking whiskey again.
Whiskey.
But then I'll probably just bring your vinyl to you.
Yes, what a great idea. Then that leads to my next question. You guys put out an album, which a lot of bands aren't doing these days. You know what I mean? They're doing single.
Yeah.
We're old school.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you
Or-
press?
But
Did
it
you
did
press the
change.
vinyl?
It was hard to do. Like we were trying to do 2 albums, you know what I mean? But we had to cut down. Yeah, most bands do EPs,
Yeah.
which is good because you could focus more on. I think it's just we had too much fun and too much material. And this guy loves editing, you know what I mean, and doing his thing, mixing, and he complains about it, but does a really good job, and we know he loves it. But yeah, it was just we basically did this for our own fun and pleasure,
Right.
and if people want to join in, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like it's
Because we're like we collect vinyl and I like having hard copies. You know, I don't mind the digital stuff, but I really like to have. Because I have a CD player at home, I'll pop the stuff into the CD player, or if it's a vinyl, I have a very good turntable.
Or a tape, or a cassette. You have
Fuck
that.
the tapes
too.
and cassettes, I hate those.
See, I like cassettes.
I
I grew up with those.
I never use them.
I have vinyl too, but
Yeah.
and I have CDs, of course, but they're all in the garage, as we've talked about.
Yeah.
But I love cassettes. I used to love remember when Trevor Allgaier was talking? It's like ripping that plastic off. And
Yeah.
you used to read the notes because the thing would like spread out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
You do the same thing with album.
Yeah, I don't. It's too
Oh,
big. I like it like.
And you can do it with
compact.
CDs
You
too.
can just put it in your pocket.
Oh
you know?
my god.
I actually
Why-
received
why-
a Backstreet Boys cassette when I was eight.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, you still have it.
probably somewhere in a box.
He hasn't played it in 30 years,
Yeah.
but he's got it.
Still in the Walkman.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
That's right.
I still remember my mom buying a cassette at Walmart when Backstreet Back's Alright cassette came out, the
Yeah.
second one or whatever. She like bought it. We're like waiting in line. It was just there as a display. It was like $10 or $8 or something. I still remember this. I don't know why I remember this. Got in the van, put it in. Backstreet's back. All right. Still remember this.
A good
It was a
10 bucks.
cassette. CDs weren't a thing yet.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was cassettes.
And I can't even remember what I ate for supper last night. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Some things just stay there.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, for sure.
and
Yeah.
It's a funny question because I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night either.
I don't know if I had dinner last night.
What did you have for dinner last night?
Club poutine.
The
yes.
poutine.
Oh.
Because you're always eating that.
Actually, now that we're
Yeah,
like
it's easy.
really focused on this conversation, I
poutine?
remember.
Yeah,
it was
a club
cheeseburger
sandwich
pizza we
with a
had.
poutine.
Wow.
There you go.
Definitely French.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love poutine too.
After that, you feel heavy.
What do you think? Yeah, I would
Oh,
say
yeah,
so.
yeah.
With bread with bacon and then poutine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Now that we all remember what we ate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's get
This
back
is,
to-
like a great episode, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That was good.
I have more questions.
Please do.
No, I don't.
You know?
Yeah, I do. I just lost control of where I was. Collaboration. If you guys could collaborate with anybody, who would it be?
Like someone local.
Doesn't
or?
matter.
Anybody.
If you had the ability to pull in somebody to do a song with you, or
Like a feat.
It'd probably be like I don't like this guy or this. I like him as an artist, but not as a person. But MGK.
okay,
Yeah.
Really? Machine Gun Kelly? Really?
Yeah. Probably get him rapping on our song though.
There you
Like
go.
more than singing. You know what I mean?
Do you like his rap?
I think he's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
But
better than Eminem?
I think
Do you
I like
he's
his
better,
mo-
Do you think he's better than Eminem when he was shitting on him?
No.
And
Not
then
better,
Eminem
no.
just completely
But
destroyed the guy?
honestly, like I don't like comparing them because I don't find they're like really sound the same or anything. But like
Well, he called him out. That was the problem, right?
probably MGK just because I think he's a good artist. Yeah, it would be. But or yeah.
Alright.
What about you?
I don't know.
What about you, Danny? In
Anybody.
my opinion,
Anybody.
Nick Carter.
Nick Carter. You wouldn't. I don't know. Would he fit on one of our songs though? Too slow.
Yeah, well, I'd like to have maybe Travis Barker feat me, but fuck.
Yeah.
I will lose my job.
That's true, yeah, you would. Yeah.
he's pretty okay at what he does.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's just a fun question to ask because it's interesting to see the answers we get.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got another question there, Handsome? Or do I need another one?
You go ahead. I'm thinking of some stuff.
This is one I just kind of thought of. You guys do any? Is there anything you don't do before a show, the day of a show? Is there anything like you don't eat or you just don't do? Be it superstitious or you just something that you just don't do.
Club with poutine.
Oh yeah, I eat that before a show. Yeah.
Before
Nice.
show.
Gross.
Like when we,
Just like it's like because I know some people like they warm up. They don't drink a certain thing or they don't do this because it affects vocals. I don't know. I'm just asking.
We smoke
It's-
a big one.
well, no, like, when we started playing shows last May, we were like, okay, let's not smoke weed before our shows. You know what I mean? But then we played like in September with Anvil, and I ate like 6 or 7 gummies before the show. So it's like that kind of changed. That went sideways a bit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
we
especially
don't
as you were
do.
licking the curtain on the side of the house.
It was nice. I still remember that night clearly. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah, me too.
Euphoric night on a cloud.
You only remember it because everybody was videotaping it.
Yeah,
We got evidence.
that's right.
No, I'm just kind of curious because I just like some people, they do warm up vocals. They avoid whatever this drink because
You get
does.
the
I used to do straw vocal warm ups till I realized it doesn't really do much of a difference.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it might have done a difference at first when we first started playing shows, but after that we established ourselves, playing shows and jamming, I felt like, don't need to do that anymore.
There you go.
It takes the raspiness out of the voice a bit. Like,
Yeah, you don't want that.
And you kind of want it.
for shows, it's
Yeah.
a little not too much because when we overdo it, it's just you lose the note kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so things we don't do before shows. No.
I don't tape my drums or like a hockey stick. Retape. I don't know.
No, there's no
Nothing
superstitions or anything.
no.
When you, I have a friend who's an artist and he doesn't have ice. He won't have ice. He's a singer. He won't no ice in anything. Interesting.
Is it
That's
hard
the only
on
thing?
vocals?
Just
He
the
says
ice?
he thinks it messes like cold drinks mess with his vocals.
Okay.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
So he drinks his beer warm, and he like he doesn't
Yeah.
mess around. I don't know. It's interesting how different artists have their own superstitions or their own process or whatever. I think it's a great question by Doc, but it's like so interesting to hear if there's something, but apparently nothing. Just a club.
Well, then that's fine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like I'm looking for
Now you're making
deep
me
dark
hungry,
answers here. I'm just trying to get inside your head. That's all.
Yeah.
Just practice
So,
before I go on
it's-
stage.
It was actually a good
Sit down
question.
and practice
Yeah,
for like
I'm
10
just,
minutes.
Just get into a groove.
yeah.
No, that's cool. You want to hear a whimsical question? So, what's your spirit animal?
Lion, I guess.
Lion. Okay.
Does that mean your favorite animal?
No.
No, like the one you kind of emulate or have like a connection to. It could be your favorite animal.
It is my favorite animal, but it's both. An orca.
An orca.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. In love with them. Like,
Do you watch them like hunt? Have you watched videos of
yes,
them?
I see. I get a lot of orca like videos on my Facebook or whatever,
Yeah.
and I always look at them. And sometimes I like repeat the video over
Did
and
you
over
get pissed
again.
off about Kiska at Wonderland, their marine land? You know who Kiska is?
The yeah.
Kiska was the last
last one,
Canadian, the last whale that was under. Unfortunately, they swim in like a bathtub for
Yeah.
25 years. I get really pissed off about that stuff. I love orcas too.
Sadly, I ignore that kind of news. Like
It's
that
probably
movie
smart.
Blackfish, I had trouble watching it a bit. It was kind of
It's similar to that, but the Canadian version.
But okay, yeah, and I've heard of it, but when it
not.
comes to like animals, those kinds of animals in like marine parks or whatever, like it kind of try to not listen to it.
It's depressing.
I feel like the news, on TV, it's always bad stuff, like earthquakes here and bombings here and this. And try to just
Yeah, good.
I
Stay
know.
positive.
Yeah.
But orcas hunting is crazy. It's like they almost swim in at the same speed, all 5 or 6 of them, and
In the pod.
take down like a blue whale or something like that.
Yeah, they've like apparently they're more intelligent than humans, but it's hard to tell because they're in the water, right? So you can't really compare that. But their capacity of communicating and like getting things done, like better than the human average for sure.
Makes sense.
Like, yeah, way better.
What about you?
A monkey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a roofer, so I'm a monkey.
Oh,
So.
it makes sense. And you bounce around on the stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
I swing around.
No, he is a monkey on stage. He
Yeah.
plays with no shoes.
Really?
With his
Yeah, all the
socks.
time, yeah.
And he's like insane.
I don't know why it's like that. Oh, that's a thing. That's a
See,
super
there
thing.
you go.
There you go.
That's a
Yeah.
thing.
Super.
I just forgot it.
Yeah, that you don't like
I
the
club
word shoes.
pretend with no shoes and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. No shoes.
Oh, man,
We all skipped that one.
yeah. So all the venues that book this disaster need to have a club sandwich with a poutine and a no shoes policy.
Nice socks. Nice socks.
Nice
Clean
socks,
stage.
but a
Nice
clean
socks.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess up your socks.
No.
And get splinters. and
I got
stuff.
my mop and
There you go. I'll just clean the stage before we start, guys.
yeah. I push the sound deck. Go
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Get out of my way! I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any advice for anybody that's like starting in the biz? You got anything to say to young up and comers, as it were?
Don't do it for like people's approval. Do it for your own approval.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Don't do it for money.
No.
Yeah. Be ready to pay.
No, that's a good point, though, right?
When you go to create music, don't be like, oh, the crowd's they're gonna love it. Just like do it. You and your buddies love it. You know what I mean? And the rest just handle itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great
That's-
advice.
Great advice.
We
Good
get
life
that.
advice too.
That's a good answer because we get that from a lot. It's just like I'm doing it for me, and maybe if it connects with one person, great. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Because you'll
Yeah.
never get like if you want people's approval or opinion, like you'll never know. Like the people that will tell you you're so good, they're probably just saying to be nice, and the people that like cross their arms and turn around, they probably just like, oh man, these guys are so good. I'm not gonna tell them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter what people think or whoever. Just have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna know one day when you're having fun.
That's a good point.
It's a
Just
very
go-
good point.
Yeah, just go out and have fun doing it. Now, like you had a point there. When you're watching, do you guys pay attention to the crowd? Like, because I don't. I go to watch the shows. I enjoy the shows. Like I enjoyed your guys' show, but I don't do anything. I just kind of stand there and I listen. Right. So if you're on stage and you're looking, look at that guy over there. He's not even moving. He's not doing anything. Does that get in your head, or you just guys don't?
Not at all. We're just happy that person's standing there. To be
Yeah,
honest
the
with
drums I don't
Fair
see
enough.
much because of the light.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna the best place to be seeing the crowd for sure.
you. When I see my mom getting squished by mosh pitters, that's when I'm like, yeah, dude.
You love it.
It's happening, boys. It's happening. We made it.
And we're gonna have to take mom to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah.
She said, well, you were saying you back up from the mosh pitting? Well,
Yeah.
she's like stuck in there.
Nice.
She wants to be in front, right?
Yeah.
So,
Body
enough.
surfing.
there goes mom.
Don't be late for supper.
Guys, bring her back.
Yeah.
Nice, because
But,
I don't want to like give that opinion, like because I kind of stand there and I just watch, and I'll watch you and I'll watch you do your thing, and and I just kind of go, I'm liking it, but I'm not like. That's just not my style.
You're a very curious, interested listener and watch
Yeah.
and visually like to watch the band. Like he's not the one that kind of gets. I'm the one that gets really jacked up, but he's like he's very intricate and he knows exactly. Like look at that guitarist. Like we went and saw like Eric Church of all things, and he was paying attention to the guitarist on the other end of like the stage, huge stage. Eric Church is right there. And he's talking to me about look at that guitarist at the end, and I'm like, I'm looking at Eric Church, man. Like I don't know what you're talking about, you know? but again, he's everybody listens differently, right? I get very involved. I get right into it. If I'm enjoying it enough that I want to jump around, I'm gonna. And but Dog's very much a listener, and he's very curious, and you know, everybody's different, right?
Yeah. Well, Danny's very like a dog. When he goes and sees a show, he crosses his arm and goes on the side and just observes.
Yeah.
And he like pays attention to detail and all
Yeah.
that. Like whatever he's looking at and listening at is not the same as like what the main
Yeah.
person's looking at. So you know what I mean? Like,
And then he has "I want it that way" in his head.
Yeah. He's like the Backstreet Boys wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too. That's another question we like to ask too. Is like when you guys go to a show, are you listening as a drummer or as a fan?
As a drummer,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always watching
sure.
the drummer,
Yeah.
looking
For
at
sure,
the small
drummer.
details.
Yeah.
If there's
I
a
can show him like
mistake.
a really good band, and if he's not happy with the drums, this band's no good.
Yeah. Well, fair enough, right? And it's the same if you're looking at somebody playing guitar and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
the first thing I say.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably just because that's what you play, so
Yeah.
your eyes tend to go to that. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you would like, I would have done this instead of that, and I would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you tend to? Yeah. Do you find it? You get analytical with it? Do you sort of? Like, do you listen to it and say?
Not too much, but yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not like I just love music, so I just kind of
Well, we like the music part
Yeah.
of it, like you like. Whereas a proper musician is going to have
Exactly.
a different.
that's why we asked the question,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, we're not proper musicians.
I'm not even proper.
We're podcast. we're proper podcasters.
Are we?
No, I don't know.
Just 'cause you're sitting with your-
We're just winging it.
You're proper because you're sitting with your legs crossed. Is that why we're proper?
Well, I like to be different.
Yeah. And doing a great job.
Yeah. As I got older, I started crossing my legs. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I used to be like, you know, man.
Yeah. What up, man? And now it's like I gotta cross these
Like,
legs. This is what you have to look forward to, guys. And then you get to this age.
yeah, fair enough. Well, he has kids. He knows
Yeah,
what it's all
yeah.
about.
I don't have kids.
No, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I know you do.
I haven't slept in 7 months.
Yeah. It's a true story.
You have newborns?
Yeah, two twins.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wild.
I coach a hockey team, and I had 3 twins on my team this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
3 sets.
3 sets of twins.
Actually, yeah.
Crazy. Interesting. Okay.
That's
So
fun.
there's a lot out there. They're girls, 2 girls. Very excited. They're beautiful and fun and amazing. Just you know how it is. No sleep. Like-
Till Brooklyn.
I have no idea what twins are. We always had a single, like, you know, they're 2-3 years apart.
So
the
you
kids.
found it like, you know, when they were newborns, they didn't sleep sometimes.
Oh, I can't imagine the double of the.
That's what I mean. It's
The whole
like,
work.
yeah, yeah. It's fine. It's amazing. It's like I say it like I'm upset about it. It's actually amazing.
One must be waking up the other.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. Nowadays, one will reach across and take the soother out of the other one's mouth
Yeah.
and like take it out, and then all of a sudden they're both up. It's like,
Hey, if I'm not sleeping, you're not sleeping.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mom and dad, you're not sleeping either.
No, that's not a thing. Okay, so we're gonna ask the question we ask everybody: 80s or 90s music?
80s.
90s?
Mm-hmm.
80s?
80s, yeah.
Wow, because of metal.
I don't know.
80s metal.
No.
Are we talking?
Just
I
as
don't
the
know.
genre.
If you were to put something on at home or wherever in the car, 80s or 90s?
It's hard to tell because it goes with genre, right? If I probably go with 90s because I
There you go.
know the songs better.
What are your 80s genres?
What's that? Bob FM. Well,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of music.
Oh, like the classics, like
Iron Maidens.
It's a little heavy.
No,
It's a
no,
little
no,
heavier
that's,
than
that's
Shay.
not on Bob FM. He's thinking like 80s, like Lionel Richie.
Okay.
and,
Yeah, Pat Benatar.
yeah.
Oh.
But it depends. I find 80s
Yeah.
like when a song is good, it's better than like the best song in the 90s. But 90s, I think no more songs and they go more with what we grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fair. There's more quality. You say there's more quality songs from the 80s.
Yeah, more like masterpiece, kind of original. You know what I mean? Like
Interesting.
pioneer kind of
Yeah.
And then
sound.
the '90s just has more consistency.
Yeah, more consistency.
And plus,
but
that's what they grew up listening to as well. Like with
yeah,
you.
yeah, we're more familiar.
Well,
with
there's
it.
a lot of '80s fluff too. Like,
Oh, there's fluff
a ton
in
of
every-
'90s fluff. I mean, Backstreet Boys.
There's fluff in every generation, right? Like
I just get messed
we
with
could, we
you.
could start in the '40s and we can go for fluff every decade, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, but we just do the '80s and '90s just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Because we could ask '70s too, right? Because there's a lot of good tunes, a lot of good stuff out of the '70s.
Disco.
Yeah, and well, Zeppelin,
Yeah. Disco.
you know, they were there. The Stones, disco,
Oh yeah.
the Backstreet Boys,
Your
disco,
Bee Gees over there. Bee Gees.
Bee Gees, the you know, all that kind of stuff.
He likes all the shit, the fromage.
Fromage,
I like it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that,
cheesy.
man. Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that at all.
But like sometimes I listen to random like metal music and I check like what year it came out. It was like 1985, and that's where I get impressed. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this sounded like they
It's
were
fun,
doing that
right?
back then. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
But then you've got at that end you've got that, and then you come all the way over to here. You got Mickey by Tony Basil, which is just an annoying piece of crap.
You don't like because you used to play it at weddings all the time.
Oh man, I tell you, there's like 5 songs on my list I don't like to play, and unfortunately Bob Seger's up there.
Oh.
Old time rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
I stand that song.
Although Night Moves is a good song.
Night Moves, he's got amazing stuff, but it was just that one song at every goddamn wedding I had to play.
is it because like radio killed the song?
Yeah, radio killed it, and so did weddings when I had to play
Yeah.
weddings
Tom
every
Cruise.
time.
Tom Cruise killed it.
Tom Cruise.
It's the
you
same with
bastard.
like Nirvana
Risky
and
business,
all
man.
those bands. You know, like they got
Shout out
just
to
killed by the
SRC.
radio. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep talking about
It's
it.
all
Yeah,
good.
no, it's true. It's very
Yeah.
true. You know,
Like back,
and- yeah, and it's just like there's amazing stuff in the '80s, but there was amazing stuff in the '90s, the 2000s. Like it's just it's just fun to ask the
It's a
question.
great question. We've asked everybody.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty even. '90s, '80s.
Yeah.
Like I'm '90s, he's '80s, so it's always kind of interesting to ask the questions because I do love, not like '90s hip hop is like what I grew up with, Beastie Boys and Dre and Snoop and even Eminem at the end of it, right? So it was that was my era, and of course I love all the grunge stuff too, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, all that stuff.
And,
So
sad,
yeah, so yeah.
and
it's
sadly to say, I'm more like '90s country.
90s country.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about modern country? Do you like that?
There's a few artists that I really like, and there's a lot that I don't. I find that with country music, it's like every freaking decade they have this assembly line. Oh, put on a hat and sing this. You put on a hat. You don't wear a hat, and it's like this is what you're singing and this is what you're singing, and it all sounds the same to me.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. Like, it's,
Jack, it was a great question. Though.
Yeah,
You-
it is.
yeah.
It's a very good question.
Yeah, you get 'em all.
But it's the same with a lot of even the '80s like rock bands and stuff. Like all the bands coming out of the '80s. Okay, so we have Van Halen, so you're gonna sound like them, and you're gonna do. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of
True.
like bands that you don't hear a lot of that were supposed to sound like Van Halen or a ZZ Top or whomever.
Yeah.
But country is yeah, and the newer country.
yeah, I have a lot of trouble differentiating who's who.
Yeah.
It's almost the same dude for me. But then I say that to people that love country,
Yes.
and they're like, no, we can tell the difference. It's like,
It's
sorry.
and it's very true.
Well,
it's the
everybody's
same
got a
thing with
genre.
any genre, right?
Yeah.
If you're listening to the
Yeah.
heavy metal, some people are like, well, that all kind of sounds the same to me. But you're like, no, this is so and so, and this is so and
yeah,
so.
yeah.
And
It's
this
'cause
is
you're,
why.
you're familiar, right, with it.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Mm.
Very much so.
Like
What's,
us. People thinks we sound like Billy Talent.
It all full circle, eh? Full circle.
You
What's
taking
next,
shots
guys?
at me,
Like,
man.
what's your next show? When,
So it'll be tomorrow.
No,
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 not tomorrow.
Saturday.
Saturday. Sorry, at Trackside in Montreal.
nice.
We're playing with a band called
Citizen Vicious.
Citizen Vicious
Very cool.
and
Vodka.
Vodka Tabasco.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So three. We're,
Liking the names.
we're really big fans of playing shows with 3 bands. We noticed that there's bands that play like 4 or 5 bands a
Yeah.
night. We don't like that. We're into like 3 bands a night.
Why?
Good
It's
flow.
more special.
Okay.
For when every band gets on and every band gets to play like a bit longer,
Right.
and the payout at the end is better.
Okay. Fair. No, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense, right? It's all about the Benjamins.
No,
No, I was just joking about the whole payout thing, but it is kind of true.
No, it's
No,
nice.
no,
right?
we know you.
Like we don't
You're in
really
it for the love.
honestly we don't really care how much we make at the end of a show. You know what I mean? It's just like.
But it's
whatever.
different when there's 5 bands as opposed to 3. It's a
Yeah,
little different.
but
Makes sense.
It
like
does.
I know Danny would say something like, if we're playing 4th or 3rd, like people's ears are gonna get tired. But at the end of the night, the other bands don't really matter, regardless if they're like super interesting or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people's ears are burnt.
Right.
And when we first started playing, I know Danny was like, let's always be the opener. And it kind of made sense because we're like, people's ears are fresh, you
Yeah.
know, at the beginning of the night, you know, bring the energy. You know?
Yeah.
So it was fun, you know.
Yeah. Now, I have a question about that for Danny, because he's the drummer. Now, when you set up with 3 bands, how do you? Are you okay with like using their kit? Like, I know you bring some of your own stuff onto the
Well,
stage.
this is new in the game, right? Because when I was doing show back like 15, 20 years ago, I always brought my own kit. The first few times were rough, but I got used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well,
Now, like, I'm not a musician, so I know, like, you know, do you go up and you check, like, yeah, you do a sound check,
mhm.
but is there anything that you tweak when you get? Of course, you get up there and you go, okay, I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I'll change this.
Well, since I bring my own cymbals and
Yes,
stuff,
yes, I've noticed that with a
Yeah.
lot of the bands.
You can tweak it
it's
to
fine.
the way
It's
you
not
like.
my sound. Like the drum doesn't sound like me, but
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Cool.
I was always curious about that because you guys, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll say it doesn't matter. You guys bring your own guitars and stuff. It's just the drummer has to.
Yeah, usually.
Our amps, we have like the same amp and it has like a nice look to the stage when we
Yeah.
put it, and it's like our identity a bit, so
Yeah.
we can't play without our amps.
Yeah, and makes sense, right? So, like, 'cause a lot of band, like, we've had other guys say that too. Like, what I'll do anything, but I won't switch out my amp. I'm using my amp, which is pretty cool as well.
And if Dan doesn't do like a drum solo in the middle of the sets because the drum was shit.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll be looking for that at the next show I see. Oh, Dan didn't do a drum solo.
The longer the solo, the more he liked the drum. he
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
Very nice.
There
That's
you
why
go.
in our own basement he does it for like 3 hours of solo.
Nice. Nice.
It's just
Thanks,
because you guys.
that was really,
Spice it up.
we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Good times, boys.
Yeah, it went fast.
Yeah, it did. It's
Yeah.
over.
It's over.
It's so over.
We'll have you again.
We got the rock out too.
Yeah. Can we just
Yep.
so August 19th,
Yep.
we got the rock out that's gonna be downtown Ottawa.
Okay.
And we're gonna be opening that one,
Nice.
or I don't know if we're opening or playing second or something like that. But we'll play early in the day and get the day started on the right foot.
Where's this?
So it's gonna be City Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's GS Villeneuve from Cynical Sons who's organizing the whole thing.
Nice.
Cool.
And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of like sponsors and
There's
stuff.
going to be
that.
like wrestling there, a barber.
A barber.
But before that show, we have our first show where we're gonna be headlining at Mavericks, and it's gonna be with Sonder and Dunham Knights. That's June 16th.
Nice.
So that's gonna be our next big show in Ottawa, and we're gonna try to do our best to promote it the best we can. And
Great. Well,
I know
send us-
Mavericks is gonna help us a lot, so it's gonna be
Nice.
good.
Send us a link and we'll promote it as well.
Okay.
That way- it's a walk from my place, so I can get down there to watch that.
Yeah, man.
I like to put them in my calendar now and just like pretend I'm a busy person.
Look
at
you.
I got
look
something
at
to
you
do today.
getting all
That's
organized.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're true to our promise and not asking your wife to come on and talk, so we did good.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we don't
Mission
want to
accomplished.
If anyone in the room I don't want to piss off, it's her.
Exactly.
Not because I don't think she's nice, but I just don't want to fuck around.
No. And smart you are.
Actually, my biggest objective was to get this guy to talk on the mic, and he did, so we're good.
What do you mean?
When we play shows, he never wants to sing or do vocals. I'm like,
No.
is he gonna talk today? I
Club
hope
sandwich,
so.
poutine, baby.
He did. So high
Brown
five,
bread
Mike.
or white?
No, white.
Blanc.
Blanc.
Okay.
Next time we have the podcast, we'll make sure we have a club sandwich with poutine ready for
Well,
him.
I'll be down with that.
Yeah.
A little club sandwich party.
And let's make sure like he does.
That's
all
the only
talking,
clubbing I
too.
get to
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
It's a good joke.
There we go.
Okay.
A good joke I threw up in the air. That's the only kind of clubbing I do now. Club sandwich.
The other day I opened my club and I couldn't find 50 cent in it.
All right, that's it.
We're done. Yeah, that's it.
See you later.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great, guys.
Wait.
I'll go take care of that. Oh.